Good morning, afternoon, or evening across the Federal Way, whatever time you're watching this video. It is Thursday, means we're towards the tail end of the week, and we have yet again another chipper this week. So this one is going to be a little bit remiss of, say, the Filthy 50, maybe not as many movements as the Filthy 50, but obviously a similar style based on the fact that we have sets of 50 of different things that we're doing. So today the biggest thing that you'll need is a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something that you can do single arm stuff with. And let's go down the list and take a look. So this workout starts off with 50 dumbbell snatch, then 50 single arm overhead squat. That's total. So you can have it on whatever side for however many reps you want to. If you feel really strong on your right side and you do 40 reps on your right side and 10 on your left, okay, cool, that's fine. Then 50 single arm overhead lunges. So that weight stays overhead and now you're lunging instead of squatting. And then we go into 50 wall balls. Now this is the first time I've programmed wall balls since we've started this quarantine, just because of the number of people that have med balls or enough height to do them. So we'll talk a little bit about scale options there and what we can do if I don't have enough room. Like you can tell looking in my garage, my ceilings aren't that high. Wall balls wouldn't be all that difficult because I can't throw the ball that high. But we'll still look at what we can do to elicit the same sort of stimulus or response from our body without having to throw that med ball 10 feet in the air. When we're doing the wall balls, we're going 50 deadlifts. Today I'm using my backpack for my deadlifts. And then 50 push-ups, and then ending it with 50 strict single arm presses. So just overhead press, single arm with that same weight that we're gonna be alternating back and forth with. The goal here is this first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements is going to pretty much target only lower body. So, I mean, there's a bit of shoulders and stuff in there because you got overhead work and things like that. But this is really gonna target your legs. And then as soon as you finish your deadlifts, then you're on to strictly upper body, push-ups and strict press. So this one you're gonna be flirting with a lot of like riding that line of failure and things like that. For today's workout, for me, I'm doing a 50-pound dumbbell for all of my weighted work, and then a backpack. I think the backpack only has about 45 pounds in there, but that's okay. Sets 50, a big set of deadlifts is gonna be just fine, and legs are gonna be smoked by the time we get there. So, and then push-ups aren't weighted today. If you really want to weight them, you can. And then single arm overhead press. So let's talk a little bit about our standards. We'll start with the dumbbell snatch. Now, if I have a kettlebell, if I have a dumbbell, ideally these are alternating sides as I go every rep. But if I have a kettlebell, alternating hands on kettlebell snatches is weird. So I want you to think about just total. If you're using a kettlebell for your snatches today, maybe it's 5, and every set of 5 you're switching sides. Maybe it's every set of 10 you're switching sides. Something, but still break it up. But with the dumbbell, try to alternate every rep. So both heads of the dumbbell start on the ground, and I'm going to give it a big jump and stand it all the way up. When I change my dumbbell, I want to make sure I'm bringing it down below the top of my head or about eye level before I switch hands and into my next rep. Takes a little bit of coordination to practice changing and switching that way. You can also always bring it down, switch hands, and come right back up for your next snatch. Now, when I get done with my snatches, I'm going straight into single arm overhead squats. These are challenging based on your shoulder mobility. So I have really hypermobile shoulders. These are fairly easy for me, but I know that a lot of us struggle with it. That's okay. You might have to go lighter weight at this part just to be able to squat effectively. But if you think about pulling your shoulder back, keeping your arm extended, and you can throw that other arm out as a counterbalance, I'm then going to squat all the way down to depth and then back to standing. I'm doing 50 total reps. I can switch my sides or switch hands however many times I want to. So there's no set way to break this up. Now, when I finish my overhead squats, I'm straight into overhead lunges. So very akin to basically the same movement, but now you're isolating left and right. So with that weight overhead, these can be done walking, these can be done stationary. In my case, I don't have room to do walking lunges in my garage, so I'm just gonna move them stationary. I'm gonna step forward, come down to my trailing knee, touches the ground, and then stand all the way back up to standing. I'm not going to short myself by lunging and then coming back up and switching my feet faster because I'm not truly standing up on each of those reps. So I'll go 50 lunges and then 50 wall balls. So my med ball's outside my garage. That's the only place I have room to throw it. I don't have 10 feet marked, but I'm aiming for the fifth piece of siding on the house that's up there. That should be roughly 9 to 10 feet depending. But big thing on this, squat to depth, big jump at the top, try to be as accurate as you can. We got 50 wall balls. From there, I'm going to my deadlifts. And again, in my case, I'm using a backpack. I just need this to touch the ground and then stand back up with. So, touches the floor and stand up, making sure that my shoulders are stacked over my hips. I'm not standing up here and thinking that feels like a good deadlift. I stand all the way up and squeeze my butt, get my hips open at the top of every one of those reps. So from the deads, got push-ups and single arm presses. So the push-up, we've done plenty of push-ups. Hands are shoulder width apart. My body's in a straight line. I'm gonna come down, touch my chest to the floor, and the back full extension. And I got 50 reps of push-ups, then single arm overhead press. Now these are strict. So can break this up however I want to. From left to right, sorry, garbage truck's going by. But anyway, so from here, these are strict presses. So I can't dip and drive. It's not a push press or a jerk. I have to think about strict up to the top. Try to utilize that stretch reflex. If I think about resting at the top where I'm extended versus resting at the bottom, going from a dead stop down here and pressing up is much harder than allowing that stretch reflex to happen where I can come down and straight into, I used my legs that time, straight into the next rep. So it is going to be challenging at the end. You might have to scale the weight down. 56 or 50 strict single arm presses is quite a bit. When you're doing all of that at the tail end of that workout, you've already put in a ton of reps, a ton of work, you're tired, listen to your body. But again, these might just be done in sets of 5, sets of 3, something where you're gonna tackle it a little bit at a time and make it all the way to the end. So that's what we're getting ourselves into. This one is probably gonna be deceptively terrible. So yeah, on that note, have fun with it, you guys. Let's get after it.